Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm just doing a quick video because I was just watching Oliver Stone on Breaking Points being interviewed during my lunch break. And I decided to do this video because I've been attacked by people recently in some various subtle ways too. And I guess a lot of my stuff has been questioned as conspiracy theorists, tinfoil hat, all this stuff. So I just wanted to go over this a little bit because I think one of the things that people don't seem to understand is that conspiracy theorists, while a lot of times they're wrong about the overall extremity, whatever, of the direction that things go in, they're right a lot of the time otherwise about the intentions and the motivations and a lot of what happens. And in the process of their trying to get people to believe in these ideas, a lot of times it turns into actual political activism that actually makes changes. So I'll give you a couple of examples here that really stand out to me about conspiracy theorists and conspiracy theories and how they have contributed to society. Maybe not initially, and there's a lot of stuff that happens. So there's almost like a perceptible amount of stages that it goes through. They go through to do this. So, give an example, the JFK thing. So, you have people questioning that narrative back in the 60s. For various reasons. Books get written, research gets done, some of it's just completely off and complete bullshit. But in the 70s, what happened was you had the Assassinations Records Review Board that opened up a lot of information about what the CIA was doing, and a lot of even like MK Ultra and all that stuff kind of became like public knowledge because of the JFK. The JFK was the impetus, that was the start. And so a lot of people, they had to be held more accountable. So, I would dare say like the Iran-Contra thing, maybe if not for the JFK thing, a lot of these things, a lot of these intelligence agencies would go be more unaccountable to the American people if it weren't for conspiracy theorists, truthers. So anybody that can, questions my, questioning of conspiracies or possible conspiracies, I will take my fist, put a bunch of spikes with cyanide in it, and shove it up their ass. Because fuck you, and fucking go fuck yourself if you think, oh, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist, you're just crazy. Because what you're doing is quashing, any imagination that you have for what the truth may be. You could say, okay, maybe you're wrong, Matt, about conspiracies, but fuck you, people that do this, it just pisses me off so much. Anyways, I'm not going to put my fist up anybody's ass anytime soon. I'm not in one of those, one of those kinds of clubs. So, but it just makes me so mad. So, another thing that it does, like 1991, the movie JFK definitely helped with that too. I would dare say that we wouldn't have journalists and whistleblowers coming out about stuff as much if it weren't for these conspiracy theories that came out, or conspiracy theorist researchers. Another example I can give, though, and this is probably one of the most important examples of the last 25 years, is the 9/11 Commission was founded because there was a film and a movement, the Truth Movement, towards 9/11. It was in part, part of the Truth Movement is absolutely nuts and insane and full of shit about a lot of stuff. Let's not beat around the bush about that. Same with JFK, or same with anything else. So, just like the current situation we're in, there's a lot of nuts out there, right? There's a lot of misinformation. And I remember Penn and Teller doing one of their shows about this 9/11 conspiracy theorist talking about lasers from the moon or something like that. I'm just like, that's insane, of course. But you have legitimate stuff that gets kind of muddled with all that stuff. But Valerie Plame and, all these, Fahrenheit 9/11, all these things that happened. So basically, the 9/11 Commission came about partly because of Paul Thompson, who wrote the 9/11 timeline, and which I have over there. That's what I was looking over there. I look elsewhere in my videos all the time, of course, and also the 9/11 timeline and the movie Press for Truth. Not because of Loose Change, which has a lot of inaccuracies, obviously, but Press for Truth basically were these wives of the firefighters and police officers and some people a lot of people in the towers that died, that wanted more accountability, more research on why it happened, and it had these questions that were never really answered. A lot of them were never answered, really. So that's another way that conspiracy theorists are helping change policy in society. That's what people didn't really understand. So, I would dare say with a war in Iraq, that it was a catalyst, was the 9/11 truth movement, because they were saying, they were screaming from the rooftops that this guy was not to be trusted, this George W. Bush. And when he, did all this stuff with Iraq, people were just like, oh, I guess he is bad, But we were warning people about this guy, right? So I was involved pretty early. I was reading the 9/11 timeline. I can't remember what job that was. I swear it was at a really early job of mine that I had internet access, and I was reading about it like really early. I would say like maybe 2001, 2000, maybe 2000, at least 2002. I was reading some of this stuff. So the point being is that policy is guided and also influenced by conspiracy theories in a positive way a lot of the time, because it holds, a lot of it's crazy, a lot of it's initially very chaotic and can cause misinformation, can cause a lot of bad things happening, right, with certain groups and certain, groups of people, like militia groups or whatever. But overall, there's a positive side to the conspiracy theory movement, because the truth movement, because they can cause the government to be accountable, held accountable in such a way that the truth comes out. Just think about all the Freedom of Information Act files that come out, and then we find out about this. And some of it was actually JFK, the movie that caused all that, the Records Reform Act or whatever. I don't know if it was Bush or Clinton. I can't remember. I think it was Clinton. The JFK Records Act that was, you found other stuff in there about other things, other government operations, other things that people were lying about back in the day. And you can come out and say, hey, this helped us figure this out. So I just think people that question conspiracy theorists really have to take a look and see that they are often wrong and often just totally missing the point of why people want to see the truth. That's about all.